forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby Maine. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
Prosecutors have filed charges against two women who investigators say gained access to a dead man's Cash App by cutting off his finger.
With Americans slowly gravitating to spending their money digitally, it has become more likely your bank account will be hacked before your house will get robbed. And with the emergence of apps like Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal, along with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, the world that we're living in is changing right before our eyes. Even the way people are being scammed.
Tonight we're putting you on alert with a scam unlike any we've heard before. Police warning about criminals who are preying on people's kindness and then robbing them while standing feet away from them. The criminals have gotten away with thousands of dollars, targeting at least a dozen people in the Charlotte area.
Yeah, their scam asking to borrow a victim's phone to call someone, but instead getting into cash apps like Venmo to transfer money to themselves.
Yeah, I know in this day and age, that's a classic. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, I ain't gonna fall for that one. But just like I stated earlier, the scams come in different forms, shapes, and sizes.
Now in just one station, a store employee conned out of cash by a clever criminal customer. Police say that woman asked to use the phone.
And when a worker gave her his cell, she was caught on camera dialing up trouble. The night team Sheldon Fox is live in North Miami with the exclusive. Sheldon.
Smartphone swindle, Joe and Belkis. It's what happened in Northeast Miami-Dade last week, and it is all caught on camera. Look out.
I gave her my phone.
A fraudster's on the phone. It's what those who work and operate Talk for Less say happened here last week when this woman arrived. She came right through this door and made her way over to the front counter. She came in looking for help and with a story about needing to text her mother. She would then meet her victim, the employee of the store, who was just trying to help her out.
Showed me that she was texting her mother.
The employee, telling us about how he got duped on the job, didn't want to show his face, but he wants his story out there as a warning to others. After a few minutes of letting this woman use his phone,
she gave me back my phone and left.
Thank you. Thinking nothing of it, the employee who helps people with phone issues for a living was just trying to be nice. But when he checked his email moments later,
a payment of $1,100 was sent to somebody on Cash App.
He says she got into his app and quickly sent away his money.
No! Still not impressed? Well, how about this one? Well, how about you imagine if it's just too late for that?
Prosecutors have filed charges against two women who investigators say gained access to a dead man's Cash App by cutting off his finger.
Investigators tell us Audrey Miller and Tiffany Taylor Gray viciously attacked the man inside his Northwest D.C. apartment back in April, then cut off the man's thumb, stole his phone, and cleaned up the crime scene.
On the night of Friday, April the 5th, 2024, the Metropolitan Police Department will respond to a report of an unconscious man at an apartment on Peabody Street in Northwest. Upon arrival, they will find 53-year-old Fazil Teklemariam suffering from fatal stab wounds. Teklemariam was pronounced dead at the scene. An investigation was launched, and with very few leads, police would offer a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest for those that were responsible.
In a 49-page affidavit filed in D.C. Superior Court, investigators laid out a gruesome and diabolical scheme. The woman on the left, listed as suspect number 1, police say, is 19-year-old Audrey Miller. The woman on the right, listed as suspect number 2, is 22-year-old Tiffany Taylor Gray. According to the court affidavit, Gray and the victim, Fazil Teklemariam, knew each other. The affidavit says one witness told police the 53-year-old was her sugar daddy. In these two photos, police say suspect number 1, Audrey Miller, and Teklemariam are seen together entering his apartment on April 1st.
Investigators quickly began piecing together the evidence. Surveillance footage from Teklemariam's apartment building and the surrounding neighborhoods revealed multiple suspects entering and leaving the apartment around the time of the murder. Bloody footprints and other stains were uncovered using a special ink and indicated that the crime scene had been cleaned in an attempt to remove evidence. Teklemariam's neighbors and potential witnesses also played a crucial role, providing details about individuals frequently seen around the apartment and suspicious activities in the days following the murder. Another disturbing clue was that Teklemariam's right thumb was missing and never found.
D.C. police believe Fazil Teklemariam had been dead inside his third-floor apartment here on Peabody Street Northwest for about 4 days before his body was discovered. According to a court affidavit filed in the case, he had suffered blunt force trauma to the head, he'd been stabbed, and his right thumb had been cut off. A witness told police that the thumb was used to gain access to a cash app and to buy liquor and drugs.
The clues would eventually lead to the arrest of 22-year-old Tiffany Taylor Gray and 19-year-old Audrey Miller, who both were charged with first-degree and armed felony murder. Miller would be arrested on June 21, 2024, approximately 2.5 months after the crime, while Gray would be arrested a short time later on July 1, 2024, nearly 3 months after Teklemariam's murder. Court records will reveal that the suspects allegedly used Teklemariam's severed thumb to access his accounts, specifically Cash App, to spend money on Uber rides, marijuana, and alcohol. Evidence would indicate that Teklemariam had known Gray and possibly been her sugar daddy, and he had even previously filed a police complaint against her for stealing $1,800 using his cell phone.
Included in the court affidavit, investigators attached numerous photos from surveillance cameras mounted outside 2 entrances to the building, as well as the foyer and the hallway leading to the victim's apartment. Police say 2 men, one they have identified but not charged, were seen with the 2 women coming and going from the building over several days. Investigators say the suspects used the victim's key fob to get into the building and were seen carrying items out of the apartment. There was also evidence suggesting cleaning agents had been used to conceal or eliminate evidence. Police say they got a couple of breaks in the case. Last year, Teklemariam filed a complaint with D.C. police claiming suspect number 2, Tiffany Taylor Gray, had taken his phone and used it to steal $1,800 from his Cash App. Break number 2 came when investigators learned Teklemariam's cell phone last pinged from a tower in College Park, not far from where Gray rented an apartment. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation says the claim Teklemariam was Gray's sugar daddy has so far not been verified. Investigators believe the victim's severed thumb was used to access his phone. To date, investigators have not found the victim's thumb or the electronics stolen from his home. Audrey Miller is locked up in the D.C. jail and is waiting a preliminary hearing. Gray is in custody in Prince George's County, where she was arrested last week. In the district, Paul Wagner, News 4.